Mhm. God. So, hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Today, we are starting Animorphs number 4, The Message, by K.A. Applegate. My name is Cassie. I can't tell you my last name. I wish I could, but, but I can't even tell you what town I live in or what state. We have to disguise our identities, we Animorphs. It's not about being shy, it's about staying alive. If the Yeerks ever learn who we are, we'll be done for. If they don't kill us outright, they'll make us controllers. They'll force a Yeerk slug into our brains, where it will take control of us, making us slaves, tools of the Yeerk invasion of Earth. And I really don't like the idea of being under the control of an alien. I don't like the idea of being dead, either. On the other hand, there are some things I do like about being an Animorph. Some very cool things. Take the other night. It was late. I should have been in bed. Instead, I was in the barn, getting ready to turn into a squirrel. Technically, the barn is really the Wildlife Rehabilitation Clinic. My dad is a vet. So is my mom, but she works at the gardens. This big zoo. The Wildlife Rehabilitation Clinic is just my dad and me. We take in injured birds and animals and try to save them, then release them back into their natural habitats. That's where I was, in the barn, surrounded by dozens of cages full of birds, from a mourning dove who'd run into a car windshield to golden eagle who'd almost been electrocuted by a power line. In another part of the barn, we have bigger cages for the badgers and opossums and skunks and deer, and even a pair of wolves who'd been poisoned. At the other end, far from the wolves, we keep our own horses. There's an operating room and a couple of small recovery rooms, too. Back to that night. Have you ever watched a squirrel in the park? They are constantly alert, constantly looking around. It's like every minute of every day they're thinking, hey, what's that? So I knew that if I morphed into a squirrel, all that nervousness and fear would become a part of me. It's something we've all had to deal with, controlling the animal instincts, the animal mind that comes along with the animal body. Anyway, that's where I was, in a gloomy barn with just the yellow overhead bulbs to light the room. Why was I there? Because someone or something had been sneaking in and getting at the birds. We lost a patient just the other night before. A duck. And because I couldn't sleep anyway, I kept having these dreams. Only they weren't like normal dreams. Somehow. More like, I don't know. Just really strange. That's all. Relax, Magella, I whispered to the squirrel in my hands. This won't hurt at all. I pulled some chestnuts from my pocket and handed him one. Another nut fell to the floor. Some morphs are easy. Some are terrifying. When I was a horse, that was cool. when I had to become a trout, well, that was a little more weird. The whole time I just kept thinking how someone could fry me and serve me with tartar sauce. And I don't like tartar sauce. Squirrel, I told myself. I always try to get into the feeling of what it might be like to be the animal before I even start morphing. The first physical change was in my size. I started shrinking. It's a very bizarre feeling. See, you feel like you're coming up toward you, and the ceiling is moving away, door handles aren't where they should be anymore. All of a sudden, they're over your head. I had shrunk to maybe 2.5 feet tall when my arms came sucking back into my body. Right about that point, the real Magella tore out of there. He ran back to his cage, got in, and I swear this is true, closed the door. Anyway, I still had normal, although short, legs, but my arms were stunted. I still had the normal number of fingers, but they were teeny tiny now, way too small for my body. My ears traveled up the side of my head to rest on top. Soft gray fur spread across my body in a wave. My face puffed out and grew pointed. Then, the wildest thing. My tail sprouted out of my body. And what was cool was that I wasn't a squirrel yet. I was still about half human, the size of a small child, and my tail just shot out about 2 feet long. Much longer and bigger than it would be once I was totally squirrelified. I tilted my head back and I could see this bushy gray tail arched up over me. Way cool. My legs sucked in and I was down on the ground, down on the cement floor of the barn. I suddenly discovered I hadn't swept and mopped as well as I thought I had. Amazing what you can see when your face is just an inch from the floor. Then, the squirrel brain kicked in. Whoa! Yo! Man, did I have energy. It was like I was plugged into 1,000,000 volts. I was supercharged. My slow, sluggish human brain was just blown away by the sudden explosion of energy. A noise. What's that? I cocked my ears. I swung my head, focusing my big eyes. A bird in a cage. A new sound. What was it? I spun around. No, wait, what was that? And that? And the other sound. Predators! They were everywhere. I was surrounded by predators. And that was it. That's the end of the chapter, not the book. And one of the things that does make Animorphs a little easier getting into is that there's a short recap of, okay, see, there's aliens, we can morph, blah, 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 and then, it's to start off, so you can go, okay, I've never read a book before, but at least I have the general gist of what's going on. And, yeah, the Rehabilitation Clinic, some interesting stuff happens there later on in the series, but for this book, I do like that it's showing how people can sort of handle a real issue. At least, not all of us run a rehabilitation clinic or something similar, but for those that do deal with stuff like that, you know, that's an interesting way to solve a common problem. You know, it's like, okay, we could, and plus, it's much easier. I don't. Okay. Let me backtrack there, and and continue on with the point I was going to get at. Again, I do bear with the scripted scenes. But anyways, if the war is won, you know, what common everyday things would you, you know, use morphine for? You know, it doesn't have to be common. It could be an uncommon occurrence. You know, what would you use morphine for? Comment down below. And it can't be something like something badass. It sort of has to be simple, like in this chapter where Cassie is morphine, not to kick ass, but to see, you know, what's actually harming the birds. You know, something simple like that. Not, I'm going to be a total badass if I get to morph, and I'm going to beat up this kid that has harassed me since preschool. You know, it's nothing like that. Nothing. Just simple, calm, no bloodshed. And if you do want to discuss, you know, this book with me, this chapter, please comment down below and we can start discussion. But remember, no major spoilers. I'm sort of hoping that some people will run across these videos and learn about Animorphs that way. And there are some really cool twists and turns throughout the series that, you know, they shouldn't have know of beforehand, as that would just ruin it. So please, no major spoilers in the comment section. If you do want to talk spoilers with me, and you are watching on the YouTubes, link in the description to my Tumblr Ask box. And, you know, just fire away with any, you know, spoilery question. And if you listen to this dramatic reading and you're like, yeah, I'd really like to read this book for myself. I like to check out what the whole hype train is about. If you are watching on the YouTubes, link in the description. If you are watching on my bloggity blog, link in the description, not link below. And you can go to both links and get your own copy of Animorphs #4, The Message. Fucking awesome book. Yeah. And if you listen to this dramatic reading and you're like, hey, I would really love it if Jashikins read my ebook or my fan fiction, you can commission me. If you're watching this on the YouTubes, link in the description. If you are watching on my blog, link up above. Both links go to the same blog post where you can see what I do, what I don't do, and my pricing. And if you're watching this on the YouTubes, please like this video. Subscribe to this channel to, you know, get more awesome content. If you are watching on my bloggity blog and are watching on the desktop version, find where the fuck the sidebar thingamajig has gone and click on the follow by email option and you'll be updated whenever I make a blog post. And please do all this because in my day-to-day life, I do not get the attention I so desperately deserve, and so I come to you, people of the interwebs, to give me the attention I deserve. So yeah. Okay, real life segment. And Rev Resner is resting from the hard work and he's not feeling well, so I've been able to go across about my day going at my pace, not having to really worry about being social. Of course, the downside to that is he's sick, and I worry about him. And I really only have two modes of worrying about people. Either I don't worry about you. Okay. I don't care. Okay, you're okay, yay. Then I go to the total opposite end of the spectrum and go, oh my god, you're coughing, you're going to die, you're going to die. It's really, really bad. So yeah, I'm worrying about him, which is the bad part. Yeah. And now to the well wishes. If you were watching the last episode I did well wishes on, which would have been a marriage of convenience episode, you know, I was so fucking tired that I forgot to drink at the end. Like, that's how pooped out I was. So this time, I will not forget to drink. I'll try to make that a one-time occurrence thing. So anyways, for those of you who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, this is your first full Jash reads you've watched, where I've done the well wishes. Here's what's going on. The well wishes is a segment where I say some well wishes, and then I drink a little sake. Now, you can join in one of two ways. You can join in both ways. First way is you can drink along with me. Drink your favorite liqueur or alcohol or whatever the fuck's lying around. And if you don't drink for whatever reason, you know, water, like I'm drinking now, orange juice, milk, you know, a whole slew of things, you know, just drink along with me. The second way is that you can submit your own well wishes. To do so, comment down below, and in the next episode, I will say your well wish. Or well wishes. Whatever. Since no one submitted any well wishes to me for this episode, I will make up some of my own. The first is, of course, I hope you are all in good medical and physical health. No one really deserves to go through some fucking medical bullshit. Second is that I hope my dad stops trying to communicate with me. I can't say shit because I am still depending on him for money even though I have left his house. This is... Long-time viewers know that this is not his house. This is my house that I live in with my fiance, Rev Resner. And I just... 99% of the conversation is just him talking. It's like he's bored and he needs someone to talk to, and I just happen to be the person to talk to, and I can't say shit. So yeah, that's... like, it's... people who have watched these videos, who have listened to me on Twitter and Facebook, know exactly how that I don't have a good relation with my dad. Long story short. Which is why it was like moving away from him. Oh no, now he's fucking saying he's going to be calling every week. I really hope that doesn't fucking happen. And the two of my birds, Loki and Peep, will be getting a new cage. We tested them out in the new cage the other day, but still needs to be sanded down, cleaned, paint. There needs to be a slight bit of welding done. And I hope that really gets done quickly so we can move them in. Because it's a bigger cage, and if we don't, you know, lather it up in toys, they can fly a little bit in the cage, which will be good for them. Because this house doesn't afford them the opportunities to fly around like the old house did. So yeah, so Peep and Loki tend to rebel by shitting in their water. It's like so fucking amazing. It's like, yeah, now you're helping your cause there. So maybe the greater space that they can sort of fly in will appease them so they don't fucking shit in their own water. God. And I know this isn't going to be happening anytime soon, but I hope, I can find a cockatiel one day. I like the one at Pet Store I saw one time. We just really fucking bonded really quickly. But I didn't have the space or the money at the time to buy it, so I hope that when I do get a cockatiel that we sort of share that same bond. That was just too cute. That was just too cute. And years later, I'm still moaning about it. I think that's one of the reasons Rev Resner isn't up to really taking me to that cool pet store again. Because it's like, you're just, Jash, you're just going to complain again. No, I'm not. So, yeah. And now's the time of the drinking. Cheers. It's good. My face may go into these weird contortions, but I am enjoying this shit. Okay, next episode will be another chapter of Animorphs #4, The Message by Kay Applegate. And it will air in just a few short hours. So, stay tuned to this channel. Repeating again, the next episode will be more of Animorphs 4, The Message by Kay Applegate. And it will air in just a few short hours.